Hi everyone, it's Wanda with the Armchair Cat Advocate. Good morning. I wanted to talk to everyone a little bit about the Biscuit fundraiser. I saw that there were some questions, so I'm going to just go over the questions that were left under the community tab post. And I also want to talk a little bit about I haven't heard anything from Kayla yet. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about where we're at with this. Someone I did get a donation from someone came through my PayPal, so I will have to transfer that over to Abby. But thank you to that person who sent that. So let's talk a little bit about. Let me pull this up here on my phone and answer these questions. Um, I'm still waiting to hear back from Kayla. As I said, I know yesterday she wasn't feeling well. Her, her daughter has some health issues, and Kayla has health issues. So we are just kind of playing this all by ear. Okay. So let me look this up here. So I had a question here. Okay, so Catitude asked if it will all the donations from the GoFundMe go to Biscuit. No, and I've explained this before. Let me explain it again. Okay, there's two different things going on here. So the fundraiser is separate, or the GoFundMe is separate. I'm starting the GoFundMe. I don't have it up yet, but I'm starting the GoFundMe as a way to help get Kayla restocked. So I did talk about this before. I'm going to talk about it more right now so that people understand what's happening. So those of you who weren't on that live stream, what I am doing is I have spoken to Kayla, and part of the and this came up when I contacted her about cinnamon and asked her about cinnamon and what kind of a dewormer I should use, or if she still had the capacity to do fecal samples, and she told me no, because all the equipment that she had went back to the rescue. So here's the issue at hand, and I hope that person that caused all these problems, that person from Virginia who called the rescue and started shit, I hope you see this. I really do. Because I want you to understand what your actions caused. And this is why I will never talk to you. So don't ever email me again or try to contact me again. I don't want to talk to you. I don't like you, okay? I think you're a piece of shit. And I don't want to have anything to do with you, because what you did is inexcusable. And yes, Kayla was going to leave the rescue because she wanted to spend more time with her kid, but you caused so much disruption and havoc through what you did, contacting that rescue when it wasn't any of your business, and nothing was being done. No cats were being harmed. Everything that I do with the cats was done by standard protocol. I have everything documented on this channel. People can clearly see that my cats are not abused. They're not being neglected. They're not being locked in cages for 24 hours, 24/7 without food and water. That's ridiculous. They would look like Biscuit if I did that. So your ignorant bullshit that you tried to pull, it did hurt the cats. Make no mistake about that. It hurt the cats. Because if there had been an amicable break instead of what ended up happening with her basically being pushed out and pushed out early, maybe she would still have access to equipment that could help the cats, that all these strays that we have out there. So go back to your little friends and stay on your side of the internet, because I don't want anything to do with you. I just have to say that. I apologize to people who don't know what I'm talking about, but it just really irritates me that someone would do something so heinous and then come back and try to pretend like it wasn't a big deal, and then actually try to say that they were never rude and that they want to have a heart to heart with me. I don't want to have a heart to heart with you. Go back to your go back to your little mean girl crew. You see how they treat you, don't you? Yeah. You see how the queen bee behaves. She told you, didn't she? Embarrassed the shit out of you on a live stream. Good. I'm glad. Made my day seeing that little clip. Somebody sent it to me, and it did make my day. So, on to the fundraiser, or to the GoFundMe. So when Kayla left, she had to return all the equipment, the microscope, slides, everything that she had. Okay. So she doesn't have any capacity right now to do things like fecal samples, just basic stuff. And I want to make this very clear. I made this clear in the other video. I'm going to make it clear in this one. What Kayla does, she does it within the legal bounds that she can do. Okay. So nobody's practicing veterinary medicine without a license here. So for the bunny boiler in Virginia, just mind your own damn business, because nobody's doing anything wrong here. I don't want any more trouble for her, because if you make trouble for her, I'm going to step in. You're coming very close to legal action at this point. And I better not see anything else from you. Don't change your email address again and send me anything else in my email account. Because the next thing that I get from you, I'm going to the police, and if I can press charges, I will press charges against you. I don't care if you're in Virginia. I don't give a shit. I'll find a way to do it. Because we're trying to save cats here. And I'm really tired of the BS. It takes my time and energy. It takes her time and energy. So anyway, what Kayla does is simple things that any rescue can do in-house, what they call in-house. And that's basically fecal samples, doing simple blood tests like for feline AIDS and leukemia, attending to simple, straightforward injuries, inserting microchips. That's another one that little procedures, basically things that if you go to a vet, you're going to pay the vet visit. So if you go to the vet, for example, to get a microchip, more than likely it's, I don't even know what, well, let's say a vet visit is $50. I mean, if it's a private vet, they may, let that go. But most vets now aren't private. Most are part of a corporation or something, and they're going to charge you that. They're going to charge you to walk through the door. Before they do anything else, you're already paying $50 to $100, whatever their vet visit is. And then on top of that, anything else. So, for example, a microchip that you could get from a animal supply store like revival that probably you could get. I think you can. I don't know. I don't know what the prices are off the top of my head, but I know it's much cheaper. So something that, let's just say, a procedure that would cost $50 at a vet's office without the actual visit fee, you could probably do in-house with the same thing, with the same, like the vaccines or microchips or whatever. It would probably cost half of that doing it in-house, doing it yourself. I know vaccines, a distemper vaccine, a 3-in-1, about what they call the 3-in-1, which is distemper, herpes, and calisi. Just one vaccine is, I think, like, probably went up a little bit with inflation, but the last time I bought them, they were like $15-16 for one injection. You go to even Petco, and it's like $30-40. So it's, being able to do things in-house is so much more economically feasible for folks that are trying to save cats on their own and independently. And then also when you start working with rescues, then there's a lot of other issues that you have. So what I'm trying to do with the GoFundMe is, and I put it at a high amount. I set it at like 5,000, and that's because the equipment is expensive. Microscope, I think a good quality microscope is going to be between $200-500. And slides, vaccines. If you get I think it's 25 doses of the 3-in-1 vaccine plus the feline leukemia. That, I believe, is almost $300. Now, if you break it down, it breaks down to a very small amount. It's like, I don't know, like $4 or something. I forget what it is. It breaks down to a really small. The cost of each of those vaccines are actually less than one dose from Tractor Supply if you break it down, because I did the math. So that's the kind of thing that I want to do. Now, that all being said, if you want to donate, like Catitude, if you want to donate to the GoFundMe, that's fine. You can donate to the GoFundMe, because we will use that money for medical purposes, to restock Kayla, and then to help treat cats that are in need. So to answer your question, no, it's not directly for Biscuit, and it never was intended to be for Biscuit, because Biscuit wasn't even on the radar when I had the idea to start this GoFundMe and to set it up. So while not directly, indirectly, yes. And if you want your money to go to Biscuit, just mark it down. Put your name. When you put your name, I think there's a place on the GoFundMe that you can leave a message, or you can email me, or you can leave a comment and say, hey, I donated $25 or whatever you donated. I want it to go to Biscuit. Whatever you donate, doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be 25. It could be $5. I don't know I don't think GoFundMe has a limit. I don't know. But so the GoFundMe is a separate thing from what we're doing with Biscuit. Biscuit, he's getting his own. I don't know. Maybe I should just start a GoFundMe for Biscuit. Maybe that would be easier for people. I could do that. I'll have to ask Kayla and Abby if they plan on doing anything like that before I do, though. But for all intents and purposes right now, I can definitely, if you want to donate to the GoFundMe on behalf of Biscuit, that's fine. Okay, what was the other question here? Let's see. All right. I had another question. Wanda, can I PayPal you? This is from Chris. I don't have Venmo, or can you share? Okay. So you can PayPal me and I will get it to Abby. Someone already sent me money through PayPal and had a tag on it for Biscuit. I would rather that you didn't do that though, because I don't want the funds commingling any more than they have to. I want to keep things separate so that, and this is all for transparency's sake, because I want people to know where their money's going, and I want to be able to be accountable for that and show people, if they want to, if they want to see a receipt or something, we can show the receipts. So, you if that's the only way you can do it, that's okay. Um, the issue that I have is, okay, so when I went to transfer the money from my PayPal account to Abby's, it I I had to look, I had to look up her information. So the email address that Kayla gave me is tied to Abby's PayPal account. But I wanted just like a link to PayPal. Usually it says something like, I think like mine says the Armchair Cat Advocate, like at PayPal me or something like that. Um, and this is, I don't know. I mean, I can put the email address up. It's actually her store address, because Abby has a little vintage store, so it's actually tied to her store. So I can do that. I can put that up as well. So I think that's pretty much what I wanted to clarify with everyone, and I thought it'd be easier just to do a quick little live stream to let everyone know what's happening. And I haven't heard any updates on him. I did listen again to the voice message that Abby left. I think that was on Tuesday. And the cat was actually found by a friend of hers. And then this friend contacted Abby, and Abby got the cat. And then because the cat was so emaciated, she contacted Kayla and asked Kayla if Kayla would look at the cat and, see what she thinks. She said the cat's very friendly, very sweet. Putting up, even though he has to have his paw soaked to get the infection out, and he's even putting up with that. He has to be quarantined for 90 days because they think that the injury on the paw is a bite. So, you know, they want to quarantine him in case anything crops up. So he's going to be, and then with his condition, his being so emaciated, and as I put in the community tab post, one of the reasons why they need to get blood panels on him is because of liver functions. Cats, because of their metabolism and how I guess their metabolism is really fast. Let me actually look this up a minute and just read to everyone, because it's called, what is it? Hemopatic lipidosis, I believe it was called. I know I've always been told that cats can only go about a day or so without food, and then things start to go wrong. So, okay, so I'm just going to read this to everyone. This is actually, I don't like the AI thing. Let me read you the cats.com. They usually have pretty good information. I don't like the AI overview because sometimes Yeah, because cats.com generally they have, and they do, Dr. Aislinn O'Keefe. Um, and then it's double fact checked too. So, all right. So I'm going to just read this quick little article to you. Just like humans, cats need regular food and water to survive. If they go too long without one or the other, it can be very dangerous and even deadly. However, cats' appetites can change throughout their life as they grow older, when they're unwell, stressed, or if they don't like their food. Sometimes cats can stop eating altogether if they are suffering from illness or disease. Cat owners may wonder, how long can a cat survive without food? The answer isn't a straightforward one, and we'll discuss this in more detail now. So the key takeaways: cats can survive typically for 1 to 2 weeks without food, but should never go without food for 24 hours. So that's the key to it. They shouldn't go, and that was what I was always told. Your cats need to eat. If they don't eat, if they haven't eaten in like 24 hours, you need to get them to a vet stat. A cat that is not eating needs to be taken to the veterinarian to see if there's underlying health. And let me see if they talk about it. Okay, here we go. What does starvation do to a cat? A cat may survive without food for 1 to 2 weeks, but doing so has dire consequences. After 3 to 4 days without eating, cats start to suffer from disease. As their protein becomes depleted, their body starts to break down fat, which leads to an accumulation of fat in their liver. This is called hepatic lipidosis / fatty liver and leads to liver failure. Cats that become dehydrated from a lack of food and water often develop kidney failure and multi-organ dysfunction. Certain underlying health conditions such as chronic kidney disease, diabetes, and hyperthyroidism can predispose cats to dehydration. Even if cats survive starvation or dehydration, it still often leads to health problems. These can include malnutrition, weight loss, and medical issues, e.g., residual kidney disease. So that's why they need to get him to a vet for a complete workup, for those blood panels, for the digestive issues that he's having. I mean, this poor cat was surviving on grasshoppers and grass, and they know that because he was vomiting up the exoskeletons from the grasshoppers and bits of grass. So he needs that blood panel. He needs multiple x-rays. He needs, what else did she have down here? She said possibly a workup for the digestive issues. You might want to look at the paw injury seems to be okay for now, but these other things need to be addressed as soon as possible. So, because he may have long-term liver damage now, which is like person that lives upstairs whose cat was in a neighbor's apartment for over a week without any food or water. It's a miracle the cat was alive, and she still wouldn't take the cat to the vet to get him checked out. So, we don't want to do that. We want to make sure that this cat's okay. So that's kind of all that I have for everyone right now. So the key takeaways here are, if you want to go to if you want to send money to my PayPal for temporarily till I can get an actual link to Abby's PayPal. I mean, I will put her email address. I don't know how that. I don't know how that. I know you can. If you transfer money, you can. I don't know if you can do. Maybe you can just look her up on PayPal and send money. I'm not sure. I've never done it that way on PayPal. Honestly, I've never even really. I've only transferred money from my account to other people's account on PayPal, so I don't really know how any of that other stuff works. because I refuse to hook a credit card to PayPal. I had a bad experience with that. I actually had my card hacked by having it linked to PayPal, so I would never do that again. But I know other people do, so maybe you know something I don't. But the GoFundMe, if you want to give to the Go, once I get that up, I'll try to get that up either today or tomorrow. Once I get that up, if you want to donate and put Biscuit's name on there, that's fine, because it is basically a medical fund, but it's not. I want to make it very clear, it's not solely for Biscuit. Okay, if you don't like Catitude, if you don't want to do Venmo or PayPal, but you're okay with GoFundMe, but just keep in mind that the funds in there, we're this is a medical fund. We're trying to raise money so that Kayla can get set back up, so that she can help these cats that get, because she lives out in the country. She has a farm, and she has cats that get dumped. So she has her own issues with dumped cats and stray cats that would be helpful if she was able to have the equipment there to at least do a rudimentary exam to make sure that the cats are okay. So that's pretty much where we're at with all that. And anything else any other questions that you have, leave them in the comments. Put them under the community tab post. I will get this up, and I appreciate everyone who is willing to help out. So I'm going to end it there, and I might come back later today with any updates when people are more available and more. I know it's really early for a lot of people, or they're at work already. So, but I just wanted to come on here and answer these questions for folks. All right, everyone. Thanks for hanging out, those of you that did, and I will see you in the next one. So goodbye for